day, everyone. It's about time for a September tour. A little late, but better late than never. Pathway's looking good. I took out the tomatoes because they're getting kind of grody and I didn't love the taste. I added some hens and chicks, different colors assorted. The Prima Angelina is doing really well. So are these heucheras. And I trimmed up the pulmonaria. The hostas doing okay, rooting in, not pushing out any leaves, that's fine. This sedum right here, this blue sedum, is really spreading nice and fast, so that's good. Same thing here. My blackberries are forming up, but I don't know if we're gonna get too cold of weather for them to become black in time for harvest. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, I bought a delphinium and I put it back here because I think this would be great to have clematis, delphinium, clematis. So I just need a couple more that I'll probably split from my existing clematis. I am going to move this phlox somewhere more, I don't know, forward, because I think this, there we go. This hibiscus plant is getting really big and it's just gonna cover it by next year. Now, I had a ton of hibiscus flower on here, but of course I didn't do the video in time. And I've got basically just this last one, which is what inspired me to make the video. I'm like, oh, that's my last one. All right. On this side here, this phlox just finished up. This echinacea is pushing out new growth, so we'll get some new blooms. I've got a cardinal. It's actually right there, but it flops over into the shrub. I just weeded all of the edging to make sure it's a sharp line. My Veronica Speedwell finished up. These Incrediballs, they're looking really great. I had 2 more push out really late. 3 more. So they're almost like still white, which is great. Yeah, the lilies always look a little shabby. They did not do well for me in the summer and late summer. They only did okay early summer. So I'm a little disappointed they're not as long blooming as I anticipated. The phlox still blooming on that one. I just keep deadheading to hope to get more blooms. And this one's been doing so great, this hydrangea, macrophylla. It's called Endless Summer, and I've amended the soil to be more acidic so that I would get a bit more blue purple. Now, the petals are acting a little, I don't know, delayed or something in the middle here. And I think it might be the cold nights, or it's just not finished flushing out yet. But it's so beautiful. I love the blue, purple, and pink. So that's new this year. I just added soil acidifier. It's just called sulfur, and it's in the form of yellow pellets on Amazon. Oh, also on Amazon, I got these. And I like them a lot, but they're warm. You kind of sweat a little bit, but they're waterproof. The Coreopsis is a huge winner. I have to prop it up though, so I've got it staked all the way around, propped up. I got another delphinium that shooted up, but it's not very well supported, and the bugs got to it. I mean, at least I got a second round of blooms. My bee balm did not do well this year. It barely bloomed. I don't know what happened. It didn't even get powdery mildew. It just bloomed a little bit, and I deadheaded it, and then it was done. Here's some black-eyed Susans, kind of on their way out because I haven't been watering enough and we haven't had much rain. And also I noticed this. Why is there so much gravel right here? So they just dried out, but I have other places with black-eyed Susans that look fine. This has been doing the best. It was the first blooming phlox that I have, and it now seems to be like gonna be the last blooming phlox. Just kept deadheading it. Scarlet Monarda did actually pretty good. The Scarlet Monarda did okay. The pink lower growing variety didn't. I think I'm gonna change this out. It's not punching enough color in this area for me. There's too much of the same green here and here. So I think I might take this hosta out, put the blue one there, and then just like shuffle some things over. Take this guy. I don't know if I want to move him or not. Maybe I'll just keep him because then the blue will be here. It'll probably look kind of cool together. And I think I'm going to put the green here for like a kind of chartreuse. I just have to move this because they're encroaching on each other. So I'm going to shuffle this area about and maybe put that there and that over there, or just move it over here into this kind of space. In this area, I had an echinacea further back there that I had chopped up because I thought it, and I think it did have a disease on it, but I guess the disease went away. I was like, it's not disease, sorry, it's just mites that go in the rosette. Anyways, it's called rosette mites. So this one's fine. I moved it forward because I decided to plant some hollyhocks right there, and they're gonna grow as tall as the fence. Oh, this, I hope it's turning color. Like, I hope this is what's supposed to happen to an azalea. Otherwise, I don't know. It's pretty. Or are the leaves just dying? Is it in stress? I don't think so. I remember seeing more buds on it last year though when I bought it and purchased it and put it in here. The buds aren't big enough for my liking right now, but they have still time to grow before first frost, so we'll see. I'll have to cut those back before they seed everywhere. I've been doing that all summer because I'm worried that this Artemisia will get out of control. But it's easy to pull out, so I shouldn't be too worried. Oh yeah, so I have black-eyed Susans there, and I had black-eyed Susans here in this hole, but it was encroaching on the shrub, like it was too tall. And so I actually moved them here, and they flopped over, so I just cut them down. So that'll be probably better for next year. I have some bee balm in this corner that I thought was going to spread that way, but it looks like it's spreading this way, so I might have to move that over as well. And to replace what is like right here in front of the dappled willow, I wanted a shorter variety echinacea, and I had an echinacea over there in the dead zone. I'll show you that later. And so it was dying because I don't know, apparently I have a dead zone. And so I put it here. It's double scoop raspberry echinacea, and this is all that's left of it. And I have no idea if it's gonna survive. I don't know. There's the disappointing bee balm. Here's a little Artemisia that flopped over, but it's okay. I still like the look of it because it's so poofy. I just trimmed it right here for the border, and I guess a chunk came out there. This echinacea I really should have deadheaded, but there's a lot of bugs and spiders that made a lot of webs, and I just didn't want to disrupt what was happening. So yes, it looks like junk, but it's for the bugs. I left it for the bugs. There were just so many spider webs. Actually, I don't even see, oh yeah, I still see them. Yeah, they're there. This is also an area with tons of mosquitoes for whatever reason. There's like mosquito haven in this area. So yeah, the Brunner is looking so good. It's just such a winner in my garden. You can just rely on it, and it doesn't get eaten all that much at all. So same thing with, obviously, you know, I love my heuchera. I can't help it. Oh yeah, I didn't even talk about these beautiful limelight hydrangeas. How, like, there's the lower growth here, and the new growth just shot up because of all that rain in late July and August. So they look a little wonky, but I still think they look majestic, and they're sturdy. They haven't fallen over. Only the bottom ones fell over. These guys, they're like very strong. So, oh, and I did trim my dappled willow like twice this summer. Like this guy needs a trim right here. And I think because they're so, I don't want to say hardy, they're vigorous, that I don't mind trimming them right before frost comes. If it nicks the tips, oh well. It can cut that thing right down to the ground and it would be fine. Yeah. Fire, hydrangea, firelight hydrangea. Yeah, look it also did that. All the way to the top there, and yeah, it's forming a flower. It's kind of silly how they grew this year. This isn't even being propped up. It's like all supported on its own. It's got like little two guys there. It's so cute. This one's really saturated. So pretty. And I mean, this beast of a Japanese painted fern is wild. Oh, pardon all the leaves of my maple. They're coming down like never ending. They make a mess. Gotta love these hostas here. Flanking my little, oh, it needs a paint job. Yeah. Still don't know what to do with this. It's like a shallow little, it's obviously I gotta get rid of the fake flowers. It's a shallow little bed here. In full shade, absolutely full shade. I was thinking like sedums that are just like the, you know, the really aggressive kind, and then having them trail. I don't know. I wanted something bright. Maybe I'll just put some Angelina in there. Angelina kind of survives everywhere. Yeah, so I put some grass here, some Hakone grass. That's kind of new. That Hestilbia is kind of new. But I feel like it's twiggy and some of it was dried out like this. And so I was like, uh-oh, is it rotting in there? Is there too much moisture? I'm not sure. This Hestilbia seems to be doing just fine. So hopefully that one will. Oh yeah, the black eye Susan's starting to fall over a bit, but it's still so pretty. And oh, this is Kapow tall phlox. It is so fluorescent. It doesn't really go with my vibe. Like I like warm colors, and it's definitely a cool hot pink. Cool pink. I don't know. I find it's on the cooler side of all the pinks. Correct me if I'm wrong. But it's colorful. So yeah, it survived. I remember I was worried in the last video. I was like, I think I killed my viola. No, it's good. It's just tiny. Oh, and I'm starting to add ground cover everywhere. And by ground cover, I don't mean like these guys. I mean like the sedums, like that, and the blue one and the red one. I'm just taking like little notches and just throwing them in. So sometimes you'll see like that, and it will take, and it will be like triple that in the spring. So the this is the dead zone, this whole area here. And I say that because the only place where I have been unsuccessful with my plants have been in this zone. And I know it looks full right now, but it's because I did a lot of moving over the whole summer. And this coreopsis is the same as the one on the other side. And look, it's so tiny. It's barely surviving. I don't know. The salvia is doing fine, as you can see. I'm not too worried about the salvia. It's just, I find it just looks like junk. It did not second bloom for me after I deadheaded it severely. Like I took off half, and now it has sprouted all this growth and has done nothing. And I don't know if I want to prop it up. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, this phlox is doing great in the dead zone, so yay for phlox. Very, very pretty. But this guy, this is my fall sunflower. It had variegated leaves, and it was very expensive. And I had two, and they look like this. And I call this the dead zone. I don't know what's in the soil that some plants don't like, but my cardinal flower also died here. I had another echinacea that was dying here. This guy almost died here. I moved him across the ways. He perked up, and so I put him back. I don't know, it's growing moss. It's got like these holes. It has been amended like a couple times with triple mix and then composted manure, but I don't know, it just feels like something is rotting, making all the plants rot in here. So this Hydrangea is doing okay though, so yay. And the Coreopsis on this side is a little bit better, and things improve as we go this way. The Arborvitae is fine. Oh yeah, this guy, laced up elderberry, is humongous. I can't believe how much it grew. Like, I'm not sure about this guy, this one right here. Like, am I gonna, okay, this one's okay. Look how tall that is. Anyways, it's kind of a cool black lacy foliage that is unique and conversation piece. But I have to be careful with this one. And they said don't prune it because it's just supposed to be like tall and lanky and wild looking. But we'll see. Because right here, looking a lot more spindly in my opinion, is my native serviceberry. And I'm like, why is it so sparse? I'm like, I don't know. It always seems to be having a problem, I find. So it's not as easy to have this native tree. Look how empty it is in the middle. Anyways, the Arb's doing great, yay. The Pinky Winky Hydrangea is doing okay. It didn't quite open. Everything didn't open. All the buds. It's supposed to look like this. So, I don't know, it's only in its second year. Hopefully next year it'll do it. Otherwise it's not getting enough sun and I'll have to move it, but I really don't want to. Yeah, this part looks beautiful with the red. Loving that little Angel 9 bark. Always loving this foliage. And then of course the Tiger Eye Sumac. It's beautiful, tropical look. The foliage will be turning a orange soon in the fall. I've got a Carl Sedum, dogwood, and my crazy rose. Zephyrin Druin rose is climbing like nuts. No flowers, but it's growing. So I tacked it up, and this time I didn't do the like S shape that they recommend you doing with just only like a few liters. I was like, you know what? The whole point is to cover the fence. I'm just gonna let them grow wild and kind of more fanned out. I just have to fan this one out a little bit better. I noticed that using twine was a bad idea because it deteriorates or disintegrates, and they're breaking off. So I am going to have to look into a metal wire system instead, because I don't want to buy any more trellises, to be honest with you. My annuals are doing okay. I just keep watering them and they just look beautiful. Up close they look a little raggedy, but from here they look great, so I'm just gonna do that. In the island, it's so colorful. So you'll see I already bought the Russian sage, and it's called Denim and Lace from Proven Winners, and it's a beautiful foliage color, and then it's long blooming. You can already see the tips of it, and that is going to replace here. It's going to grow that big actually, and even taller. This sedum that has blue foliage is going to go here, and I'm just going to get rid of that one, give it away, because that one was disappointing me. It didn't bloom for a long time, and the foliage was always supposed to be a purple, and now I have this purple here, so I don't need that purple, so that's going to go. It's going to be blue foliage there instead, and that's going to be planted there. And under planting the Russian sage will be the Angelina sedum. And then here's some blue sedum I put down, and here's some red sedum. Well, it's supposed to be red. It's called dragon red, or red dragon, I think. And then here I have some buds forming on the Shasta daisy. There's some mini delphiniums all spotted around there, some more sedums. This sedum is called Atlantis, and it just got leggy in the late summer, and I didn't know what to do. I'm like, should I cut it back and like wait for new growth? Was it just because it got too much water. Anyways, it's not looking the best, but it looks great for most of the summer. My echinacea started growing. I started deadheading, and then it's like, oh, okay. So then it pushed out new growth, and I was like, oh, maybe I should deadhead more, because the new growth is like, wow, pop of color. My Japanese bloodgrass is doing great. So is blue spruce, I think. Cat's pajamas nepeta, second round of blooms. And then this is all finished for the season. This is butterfly weed, so it did so well though. Oh, good, look. I have a seed pod. I didn't have one last year. That's awesome. I mean, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that. I just think they look cool. I did not get any butterflies though. I mean, that I know of. When I was out here, I didn't see any monarchs, so maybe next year. The little smoke bush is so cute. Euonymus. And I can't believe I still have like a couple flowers of this dianthus. It's just like out of nowhere, like one or two will pop up. It's so random. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, I'm pretty impressed. Like it looks, especially right here, it's my favorite color spot. The leaves, oh my goodness. I wish they would all just drop at once so I can get them. Oh yeah, so I used to think I could just leave the leaves in the beds and let them compost themselves. But what I was noticing is that it leads to a lot of rot in my beds. So I've been noticing, and I know that's like, oh yeah, it's good, it's mushrooms and all that stuff form, and it's supposed to look like that. But again, I'm like, ugh, it's too wet, and I'm very allergic to molds, and so I decided against it. I'm gonna keep things a little tidy, not for the like appearance's sake, but for the sake of less rot and less mold. So I'm sorry, bugs, but I'll do the best I can to leave you alone, or there comes a moment. And in the front here, we're doing great with the hydrangeas. They look so pretty. I can't believe these pansies, these annual pansies, are still going. Like just peeking their heads through, bright white. The heucheras are being overtaken, but that's okay. If these get huge, I'll move the heucheras out of here and maybe add them to this area where I have smaller, my smaller little bobo hydrangeas. Now the bobos are not looking great. They're not looking the way they should be looking. This one has almost lost all of its leaves. So I'm a little worried, and I'm ready to cut off the blooms so that they can concentrate on root growth and just whatever they gotta concentrate on to stay alive. And I don't know if that's even gonna help. I feel like they put all their energy into those, is that seed heads? These, is this like, did they produce seeds in here? Anyway, I don't know how that works, but basically I'm just worried about them. I do have a warranty on them though, and I kept all the tags and receipts. So we'll see. It's been very dry, and I've been out here watering them. As for the heucheras, so I did split a bunch of heucheras, and I think the crown of the heucheras, that one, and there's one over there, I think those aren't making it because the crowns are the ones that you're supposed to like get rid of, right? When you split heucheras, you're not supposed to keep the crown. So it could be that. I also put some hens and chicks here. I did an experiment. I wanted to see, because my siding here is on a slope, and if I wanted to add more, beds here around the side and like all the way there, you know, this whole part be flower beds, this slope would have to have something there to make sure that the soil doesn't just like flow away like it has been. So I put some sedum and this moss phlox, no moss, just straight up Irish moss. And I was hoping that it would, I don't know, keep the soil in, obviously not here. And it's just an experiment. I wouldn't keep this looking like this because it's kind of random. I would probably, if this doesn't work, then I shouldn't add more gardens and I should just clip this here and put the grass back. Just have like just a tiny flower bed here. So I'll have to wait and see how this does, how it spreads, and if it's worth the idea of creating another flower bed along the side. If not this side, then maybe, I don't know, I haven't decided. Maybe I should just keep it like this. You know, sometimes we get a little too crazy with adding flowers. And this is just the same. And then up here, it's okay. Like, it's looking a little mangy, yeah, because these, I don't know, dried out or they just didn't perform well for me. Even this creeping Charlie, which looks beautiful with the red, is actually dying. Like it's not what it's supposed to look like. It's supposed to be chartreuse. So I'm like, what is happening here? So everything's kind of becoming past its prime. And I'll be swapping it out with a winter interest thing. I don't know what though. I'll have to look around what can handle full shade and we'll see. So thanks for coming with us on our little walking tour, and I hope you have a really great fall coming up, and I'll see you next time.